Some doors should never be opened. Some secrets should stay buried. But I was foolish. I was curious, and now I can't escape what I unleashed. This is the story of how I uncovered my family's darkest secret, and why I might not live to tell it. It had been 10 years since I last stepped foot in my grandmother's house. The house where I grew up. The house where my nightmares began. When she passed away last month, I became the sole heir to her estate. I hadn't seen her in years. Not since my parents died when I was 17. She had raised me after that, but something always felt off about her. She had a way of looking at me, like she knew something I didn't. Like she was watching me, waiting for something. I ignored it back then. But now, standing at the doorstep of that ancient Victorian house, I could feel it again. That feeling, like the house was alive, like it was watching me. The wind howled through the trees as I unlocked the door. The scent of old books, lavender, and something faintly rotting greeted me. Everything inside was untouched, just the way she had left it. Her favorite rocking chair by the fireplace, the ticking grandfather clock, the dozens of antique dolls lining the shelves, their glass eyes staring. As I stepped inside, the wooden floor creaked beneath me, groaning like it was whispering a warning. I should have listened. For the first few days, I busied myself with cleaning, sorting through my grandmother's belongings. That's when I found it. It was purely by accident. I had dropped a box of old photographs in the basement. When I bent down to pick them up, my hand brushed against something cold, metal, hidden behind an old wooden bookshelf. A door, a solid iron door, rusted with age, built into the stone wall. But that didn't make sense. I had played in this basement as a kid. I knew every inch of it. This door had never been here before. So why was it here now? My heart pounded as I traced my fingers over the metal. There was a lock, a keyhole, and just above it, carved into the iron, were 3 words: do not open. I should have walked away. I should have left the house that instant. Instead, I searched my grandmother's bedroom for a key, and I found one, an old silver key, hidden inside a locked wooden box beneath her bed. The moment I touched it, a wave of nausea rolled through me, like something knew what I was about to do, like something was waiting. That night, when the world was asleep, I unlocked the door. The metal groaned as I pushed it open, revealing a narrow, stone passageway leading downward into complete darkness. A smell hit me immediately. Damp earth, decay, something rotten. I hesitated, but something inside me, a terrible, morbid curiosity, forced my feet forward. I stepped inside. The passage led to a small underground chamber, lit only by my phone flashlight. Along the walls were wooden shelves, lined with boxes. Some were small, others were larger. I opened one. Inside were teeth, dozens, maybe hundreds of human teeth, yellowed with age. My stomach churned as I grabbed another box. Inside were locks of hair, tied neatly with ribbons. On the ribbons were names, children's names. My hands trembled. I took a step back and hit something solid, a table, and on that table was an old leather-bound book. I flipped it open. The pages were filled with handwritten entries, some dating back over 100 years. And every few pages, the same phrase was written in blood-red ink. The price of youth is sacrifice. My breath caught in my throat as I read the entries. Each one documented a ritual. Each one detailed a child's disappearance. 1892. Evelyn Carter, age 7. Hair taken. Teeth extracted. Blood offered. 1914. Thomas Green, age 9. Heart removed. Flesh burned. 1939. Alice Williams, age 6. Bones shattered. Skin flayed. The list went on. Dozens upon dozens of names, some dating back centuries. And then I saw the last entry. My blood ran ice cold, because it was dated last month, the night my grandmother died. I slammed the book shut. My heart was hammering so hard I could hear it in my ears. This couldn't be real. My grandmother couldn't have done this. And yet, the iron door had been locked. Someone had sealed this room away, and I had just let it out. A creak echoed from behind me. The door was closing. I lunged forward, slamming my shoulder against it before it could trap me inside. My breath came in gasps as I sprinted up the basement stairs, locking the door behind me. But something was wrong. The house was different. The air had grown thick, heavy, suffocating. The shadows seemed deeper, stretching toward me like grasping hands. And then, At exactly 3 a.m., my phone buzzed. A text message from my grandmother's number. "You should have left the door closed." My hands shook as I dropped the phone. My stomach twisted into a tight knot. That was impossible. And then, from the basement, I heard it, the sound of something crawling up the stairs. I ran. I grabbed my car keys and bolted for the door. But the front door wouldn't open. I turned the lock, pulled. Nothing. The windows? Sealed shut. The house wouldn't let me leave. Then the lights flickered. The air turned ice cold. And from behind me, a whisper. "The debt must be paid." I turned, and for the first time in my life, I saw her. Not my grandmother. Not a human. Something else. Something that had been waiting for me. And then, the lights went out. Some doors should never be opened. Some secrets should stay buried. But now it's too late.